What is up, guys? Andrew Rickhack is bringing you my second episode of Mass Effect 3 in depth. Today we're going over the Adept class, and this class is often used wrong. Most people don't know how to use it, and I'm not gonna lie, even me, when I first started out with this game, I didn't know how to properly use the Adept class, and it got pretty ignored. But it's a pretty functional and powerful class when you use it right. So when you start out, you should do this: 1 point in Singularity, 1 point in Shockwave. I'll explain why later. I'll get in depth about the Biotic combinations, but just bear with me for now. Singularity, you're going to want to upgrade. You don't want duration, you want radius 100% over duration, because you're going to be casting it a lot, and so you don't want it. Duration is useless, essentially. Recharge speed is probably better than lift. Not probably, it is better, simply because, again, you're going to be casting this a lot. Now, I choose detonate, but that's just because it sounds cool. Really, you should probably have damage, because you're going to be recasting this a lot, and it's probably not going to even make it to detonation. So after that, you're going to want to go and update, no, like I'm saying, simply after this, don't follow this regiment. Like, when you actually level this guy up, don't level up everything in Singularity, then everything in Shockwave, okay? Level up everything kind of gradually at once. But when you level up Shockwave, you want to pick the first three. You don't have a choice. This one, whether it's damage or impact radius, this is really either or. It's up to you. Either would be good. I end up picking damage because I'm pretty accurate with my shockwaves. If you're new, I would definitely recommend radius instead. Again, and the middle one also, reach or biotic detonations. I pick biotic detonate, sorry, but reach is definitely a really good option. So again, it's up to you. Now for the very last one, is less of an option. I would definitely pick recharge speed over lift. So the middle two, though, they're really up to you and how you play. Now when you level up Alliance Training, you're going to want to do anything relating to powers. You do it. So the first two, you don't have a choice, but then basically you get to choose between whether you want power and damage bonus and weight capacity stuff, or weapon damage bonus. Choose anything that is not weapon damage stuff. So headshots, no. Power damage, yes. And the very last one, you want weight capacity bonus, because then you can have more powerful weapons with this class. When you level up fitness next, I just got to reset my powers. I want to ignore melee and level up everything to do with shields. I've said this in my last video, but do not touch melee unless you level everything up for melee and are going for a melee class, and if so, you better as hell be using a Vorcha or a Krogan, so please don't, just shields all the way. Now, my guy that I personally was using earlier today, he is leveled up like this, and you can see him right here. So full Singularity, full Shockwave, almost full Alliance Training, and Fitness. And I did not do that in order. I leveled up Singularity and Shockwave a little bit, then went to Alliance Training, then to Fitness, and then finished them off. So for weapons, your goal is you want to be 200%. Okay, so a pistol is always a good choice because you can get pretty powerful pistols. Like I have the Talon and I have 200%. That's an excellent pistol. Now, I know I can't tell you use the Talon, and too many Mass Effect commentators, I feel, do that, and you don't really have a choice what weapons you get in those packs. So I'm just going to say use something that's kind of high damage, because I feel like the Carnifex, the Talon, the Disciple, if you can level it up enough. Again, your main goal is 200%, and after that it's up to you, but I would rather pick something. I would rather avoid the SMGs, because often you're going to find guys with only 1 or 2 health bars left, and you want something that can just one shot and you can take them down, and the Talon is excellent for this. Now, if you just start out the game and you haven't even touch this class, you may want to use the M8 Avenger. It's pretty good on recharge speed. Again, I have it 10, so you'll have it 1, but it's pretty good on recharge speed, and it'll get you out of a lot of trouble. And I'm just use the M8 Avenger until you level this class up a couple times, then put a pistol on and just use the powers. Okay, so equipment. You're going to want anything to do. Now, gear bonus, again, if you're new, these don't disappear every round like everything else. So if you have just a couple of gear bonuses, anything is better than nothing. But if you have a lot of options like me, anything involving biotic damage is obviously the best. Obviously, I'm going to pick pistol and bionic damage because I'm using a pistol and biotic damage. It just makes sense. But if you don't have anything involving biotic damage, up your shields, do something, right? Don't tailor your guy to your gear. Tailor your gear to your guy. If all you have is assault rifle update, just put it on. And it doesn't matter. Doesn't mean you have to use an assault rifle. Armor bonus, anything involving powers is a good idea. For ammo, I would definitely recommend warp rounds, because when you use warp rounds on someone, you can still perform biotic combos on them. And I'll explain biotic combos in a little bit. I just want the gameplay to be going so I can kind of have an aid. I don't just want to blindly get into biotic combinations, because they're kind of complicated if you aren't really sure what they are. And weapon bonus, your choice. Whatever you're using, you can throw it on. I'm going to be using nothing for this gameplay. So, here's the gameplay, and here's how you use this class properly. It all involves biotic combinations. And what a biotic combination is if you cast a source power, so in this case, Singularity, and then you cast a detonate power, in this case, Shockwave, what'll happen is it'll cause a biotic explosion. And a biotic explosion has a very telltale sound, that sounds like this. Okay, once you hear that sound, that means the biotic explosion has gone off, it's worked, and it has caused a bunch more damage than either 2 power by itself will do. So, just to explain it a little better, if you notice when you cast Shockwave on guys, assault from besides the guys actually floating out of the air, which they do, you'll notice that if you cast it on an armored guy like a Scion or just a guy with more shields than normal and doesn't start floating, you'll notice he has like a blue hue around him. That means he's been affected by the source power, and he's ready for a biotic detonation. So if you then cast Shockwave on that guy, you will cause an explosion that will do a lot more damage than either, like I've said this before, but like either thing by itself. If you do it in the opposite order, Shockwave and then Singularity, it won't do anything. You have to cast a source power and then a detonate power, and that will cause an explosion. And biotic explosions are awesome, and they really increase damage and help your guy, and it's pretty much the only way you can kill a boss guy with an adept without like using a missile, to be quite honest. So I'm not gonna explain. Sorry, I had something weird in my throat. It's still there. Okay, it's gone. Sorry about that. But I'm not going to go out of my way. I think it would be a waste of my time and yours if I actually said every single source power and every single detonate power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the list of every single source power and every single detonate power in the description. So just look in there and you can see what powers are source, what powers are detonate. And again, one more time, cast a source, cast a detonate in that order, and there will be a biotic explosion. Some things like warp can be used as a source and a detonator, so it's not a typo that warp is in there. And so yeah, basically biotic combinations causing a biotic explosion is how you use this class. Now all adepts kind of have their own source power, their own detonate power. For example, the other human male from Cerberus, the guy with the lashes, his source power is Singularity again, and his detonate power this time is Smash. Smash is basically a way closer, much higher damage Shockwave. So, just to reiterate, a lot of people have no idea how to do biotic combinations. All it is, you cast a source on a guy, he will kind of glow blue. Some enemies like Banshees don't really do that, but then after you cast the source, cast the detonate, it will cause a biotic explosion, and you will be doing way more damage and be way more effective as an adept. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm bringing you more Mass Effect 3 in-depths all the time, and I'm going to be doing every single class and every single weapon type. Not every single weapon type. So again, subscribe so you don't miss it. And as always, have a nice day.